If you have a team and you have agents on your team, this video is for you. This video is going to go over how to use ClarityNOW to do your agent one-on-ones and manage the agents of your team. Within this video, we're going to show you the observatory and how to go in and out of accounts, and then how to go over the goal gap report, the pipeline, the agent production reports, and go over an agent's lead gen and conversions. So there's a lot in this video. By the end, you'll know exactly how to do a one-on-one within ClarityNOW. All right, so using ClarityNOW to do your agent one-on-ones is a phenomenal tool, and it's a great way to do this. All you're going to do is first and foremost, and when you set up your account, there's in a team section, there are users. So as long as you gave your agent on the team a user account as an agent, they'll all have their very own ClarityNOW account. I'm going to trust at this point in the video, you've done that. So let's say I'm on my dashboard and it's time to do a one-on-one with Fiona on my team. All I'm going to do is I'm going to click on Observatory, and here's all the viewable accounts that I have access to. So I can see Fiona's right here. I'm going to click on sections, and I like to go into the dashboard, although you can go into any part of her ClarityNOW. I'm going to go to her dashboard first. And now it shows up top, I am observing Fiona's ClarityNOW portal. I am in her portal. So if I want to do her one-on-one, I can go to her economic model. I can see what her goal is. She had a goal of netting $95,000, so it's 41 units. I can go to her goal gap, see how many days she has left to sell, what her goal is for Q2, where she's at so far in the system, what her gap is, and what she needs to do this week to stay on track. I can check out her lead generation. I can go to her lead gen and conversions, check out her CEO summary, and most importantly is her pipeline report, see what she has in her pipeline. So this is how I'm going to do a one-on-one within the system. And I'm done doing a one-on-one with Fiona. All I do is I click back to portal. It's going to take me back to my observatory. And now it's time to log into Gary's account. I'm done with Gary, go back to my portal. Now it's time to log into John's and so forth. So the observatory is a great tool. The key is you have to make sure to give your agents access to it. Also, if you have a coach, saying this again in the team functionality, make sure that you invite your coach, new user, coach name, coach email, select a role, make them a viewer and call them a coach and invite them. So now when your coach is showing up to your coaching call each week, they can go to their observatory and have their coaching clients and click in into your ClarityNOW. So now you and your coach can talk about your business at a higher level when you have all the metrics on the same page. Let's go over the goal gap in ClarityNOW. This is an amazing report and a unique feature to ClarityNOW. Now, what this is going to go over is going to tell you how many days you have left to do certain activities within your business. And those two activities are that the days left for taking listings that can close in a particular quarter, and how many days you have left to put things under contract that can close in a particular quarter. Now, on this account here, I'm showing you is that we have 36 days left to take listings in Q2, and we have 65 days left to sell for Q2. Now, why are there two different dates? How does that make sense? I'm going to show you how. When you set up your account, we had what's called business information that everybody filled out. And again, it's what is your average contract to close? What is your ramp up period, which is listing agreement signed to day one on the market? How long does that take you in your business? And what is your average days on market? What the goal gap is doing, guys, is it's taking the 45-day contract to close, backing out from the particular quarter, and that tells you how many days you have left to close or to sell for each quarter. On the listing side, we also need to make it go live and sit in the market before it sells. So in this model, it's going to be about 30 days before the other number. So when I click on my goal gap report, going back here, it shows me that my calendar year for taking listings is really October 17th, 2023 to October 16th, 2024 that have the ability to close January through December. So I trust that you hung on there with me. Let's go through how to read this report. It's really quite simple. And by the end of this, you'll know exactly how to manage your business, manage your team, and make sure that you hit your goals. So again, to recap, I have 36 days left to take listings in Q2 and 65 days left to sell for Q2. In the economic model, it said, and based on my seasonality, my goal is to get 13 listings signed in Q2 and to have 28 closings for $7.6 million in volume in Q2. Now, you can see the top half of these reports are the goals. The bottom half of these reports are the actuals. This is the data actually in the system. So I can see so far in quarter 2, I have signed 3 listings. We have 11 pending and closed for quarter 2 for $3.46 million in volume. So if I go down, I can see my gap to hit the quarter goals. My goal again is 13 listings signed. I have signed 3, so my gap is 10. My goal is 28 closings. I'm at 11, so my gap is 17. My goal is 7.6 million. I'm at 3.46. My gap is 4.2. Now, what the system's going to do here is going to take your gap, the 10, the 17, and the 4.2 million, and it's going to divide it by how many days you have left to take listings and how many days you have left to sell. And on the very bottom left, it tells you what do you have to do every single day to stay on track. So again, my goal is I have a gap of 17 sales. I have 65 days to do it. That means my business needs to sell 0.26 houses per day, which obviously is a funny number and it's a decimal. What you really want to look at is this bottom right corner, the weekly gap needed to stay on track. So when you pull up your goal gap report, look at the gap to hit quarter goals and then go right to this weekly gap needed to stay on track. And this tells you what you and your business needs to do over the next 7 days to stay on track. So I know if I'm running a team meeting or if I'm doing a one-on-one or if I'm simply leading myself, I know that to hit my goal this week, I need to sign 2 listings, sell 2 homes for $455,000 in volume. Very simple. One quick tip, always round up the decimal. So if I have 2.17 sales needed, I'm just going to call that 3. So whatever the decimal is, round it up to the closest whole number or the next whole number, and that will tell you exactly what you need to do in the next 7 days to stay on track. I'm going to show you an actual pipeline report. I can easily see that I have 18 people in my pipeline for $5 million in volume, almost 150 in GCI. And I always care most about the gross profit, which is my actual money, which is almost $75,000. Within the 18s, I have 3 10s, 4 9s, 2 8s, and so forth. Now, remember, a 10 on a listing side means I am going to get that listing signed this month. So if it's March 28th and I have a 10, that means I technically have 3 days to get that listing signed. On the buyer side of the pipeline report, a 10 means that buyer will be purchasing a home this month. A 9 is they are purchasing a home next month. So it's very literal. You can't hide from it. So again, I have 18 people here in my pipeline. If I want to just see my listing pipeline, change it to listing, I got 12. 12, 2 10s, 3.4 million. If I look on the buy side, I have 6 buyers in the pipeline. 110 looks like I have 1 person who I expect to buy this month. And then my pipeline for future months is there, but kind of small. If I want to look at all of my pipeline and say I just want to dive into my 10s, I can click on my 10s. I have 3 people for $950,000 that should be happening this month. These 2 listings on Rochester Road and on Marvin Drive, they're both labeled a 10, so I should be getting those listings signed this month. And the buy side looks like Mr. and Mrs. Fox. They are planning on purchasing a home this month. I can clear my rating system and come back to my pipeline report. The one thing on the pipeline report that I really encourage you guys to do is to not update it, but live in it. It's a major difference in how you look at your pipeline. When you log in your computer and you come to work every single day, your ClarityNOW pipeline report should be one of the tabs that are always open, so you're always living in it. When you do that, you will know what your future income and your future business looks like. Let's dive into the agent production report. I got here by clicking reports and agent production. What's great about this report is we have different report types. I can see a listings taken report, a sales report, and a closings report. So 3 different ways of viewing my data here. Let's say I want to look at a sales report. Okay, so sales is pendings, closings is closed. So I can see how many sales each agent has had on the listing side, the buy side, volume, GCI, total for the year, etc. And let's say I just want to not look at the total company, but I want to look at an individual agent. Say I'm just looking at Fiona. What are Fiona's sales report? What is Fiona's listings taken report and Fiona's closings report? I can look at all this for the current year by the last 7 days, last 3 months, or a customized date range. That's the first part of this report. The bottom one is the production report. I like this report a lot because it tells me how many closed and pending units they have in total. Not just so much, not just by listing type or by side, but by the whole business, what their average sales price is per month and for the year, their close volume. We'll also use this a lot. Let's say I'm looking at Fiona, is I'll also look over here and see how much money they have made. It says closed agent GCI and pending agent GCI. So I can see my close. So Fiona made 9,500 in January. She didn't make anything in February, made 12,400 in March, making 19,900 in April. And I can see exactly what she's doing and what she has pending and closed for the year. So this is great because I'll be able to celebrate milestones for an agent on my team, or maybe I didn't have that clarity before. So when someone hits 50 grand, 100 grand or more, we can actually celebrate that. I also can look at the closed company and the pending company GCI to see how much profit that agent is actually making the company. This will help, frankly, if you have agents on the team that maybe are culture challenges and not selling a lot. And when you look at this, it's a pretty clear decision from a financial standpoint, what we should do. So this is a great report. You can see each agent on the team. You can look at this a monthly report or quarterly report, and you can go back to years past if you've been using ClarityNOW for years on end. Let's dive into the lead gen and conversions report. I love this report. ClarityNOW is built because I love data, and I trust that if you're looking at this report, you do too. It's broken down by the listing side, the buy side, conversions, which is your lead gen, your dials to contacts, and your custom tracking sources. Custom tracking sources is from your daily tracking. We go over this in a separate video on daily tracking and how to enter data into the system. And that's right here. New category. You can type in whatever you want. Whatever you type in is going to show up in lead gen and conversions in this custom tracking source. So if I'm looking at listings, I can look at everything for the current year, last 3 months, a specific date range, whatever you choose, whatever vantage point and viewpoint you want to see. Let's read through this. So I can see I have my contacts to listing appointment set, listing appointment set to held, listings held to taken, and taken to pended. So it's really simple. I can see, for example, that Fiona's had 30 contacts and set 2 listing appointments. Again, contact or a ratio percentage. So I can see right here for every 15 contacts, she sets an appointment. Or again, conversion ratio is 6.7% of her contacts turn into an appointment. Listing appointment set to held. She's set to and she's held to. So 100% of her appointments that she sets are actually held. That's great to know. We may see a lot of coaching opportunities in this column for some agents. Their set to held ratio may be off. Listing appointments held to taken. She's been on 2, she's taken 3. Maybe one seller had 2, or maybe one listing carried over from her previous year. But so far, her conversion ratio is awesome. Listing appointments taken to pended. She's taken 3, she sold 3, 100% of her stuff is selling. Now, again, this is a demo account, so numbers may be funny in here. And the more that you enter your daily tracking and you're consistent with that, this report's going to have a lot of value. It's really easy to tell when looking at a report like this where your clients or where your agents need help. They either need help in setting appointments, contacts to set to held, held to taken, or taken to pended. Those are really the 4 quadrants where the most coaching can come into play. And I can see all this on the listing side or the buy side. Same thing. Contacts to set to held, held to sign, taken to pended. My dials to contacts. And then the custom tracking sources are going to all pull again from the custom categories that you enter in your daily tracking. So if I want to look at maybe, since November 1st through today, it looks like Liam has had 52 door knocks. And let's see here. Looks like Fiona's had 2 pre-approvals or whatever the case is. Liam had 10 social media likes. Whatever your custom categories are all right here. So the beautiful thing about the custom tracking sources and the lead gen and conversions report is no matter what you want to track, you can track it right here. One thing to note too is a lot of people will use the custom tracking categories for their operations team, for number of times we asked for a referral or reviews received, something along those lines. So it's a great way to also give a tracking metric to someone who may not necessarily have a sales-driven role.